Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Football. Time for the second draft. So I already talked about the first draft last week and now the second draft. What changes have I made? I've made a total of 5 changes to the team from last week, and I'm going to tell you guys about the 3 players that are definitely going to be in the team no matter what. There's definitely going to be changes by the time we hit the deadline on that Tuesday, and I can't lie to you guys. Picking the team in match day 1 in Champions League Fantasy, it's a big headache. You feel like, okay, definitely we'll have Mbappe in the team, and then you see Haaland getting 7 returns in one game for Norway, and then you see Harry Kane scoring, and then I'm an Arsenal fan, so I want Gyökeres in the team, but should I not be biased? Should I go for Richarlison instead from Tottenham? Should I go for, a Lewandowski from Barcelona instead? He always gets goals in the Champions League. Seydou Guirassy was incredible last season. Should I go for him as well? Like, there's so many players to choose from. It's always a headache. But this is what the second draft is looking like. Make sure you check out the other videos we talked about the best budget options, the best hidden gems, and all of that. And make sure to join the code join the league with the code that is on screen right now, as per always. And let's compete. That is scrolling down the bottom. So let's go with what the team is looking right now. But first, let me tell you guys the 3 players that are definitely going to be in my team no matter what. So I've already told you guys in those other videos that Denzel Dumfries is 100% going to be in my team. The only thing that is going to stop me from having him is an injury or something, but as long as he's fit, he's definitely going to be in my team. Those numbers, 17 attacking returns last season. This season is already scoring goals and assisting for club and country already within the first month. I think you have to have him. On top of that, the fixtures that Dumfries has, absolutely insane. So for me, Dumfries is definitely going to be in my team. The second player to definitely be in my team is going to be, let's go to here. Hakimi is going to be in my team. Now, I know PSG have tough fixtures, but they did have tough fixtures last season as well, and they were playing Arsenal and Liverpool and Aston Villa and all those guys. They had tough fixtures, but Hakimi is still delivering points in all of those games. And he's not just there for defensive capabilities, but his attacking capabilities are absolutely insane. So those 2 players are definitely going to be my team. And then the third one, who's 100% going to be in the team no matter what, is going to be Lamine Yamal. Is scored or assisted in every single game this season for club and country. On top of that, he also had 5 attacking returns in preseason. So he started very, very hot in preseason, and he's carried down that form to the season, and he's still delivering. And he took the penalty against rival Lekano. Lewandowski wasn't on the pitch, and he always plays, most of the time he plays 90 minutes. He rarely gets subbed off. That is the kind of player you want. I know they're playing teams like Newcastle away in the first game, but I'm still expecting Lamine Yamal to get the point. So those are the 3 players who will definitely be there when I lock in my team on Tuesday. They're not going to be removed from my team unless injuries occur. And if they occur over the weekend, you guys will know about them. Then that is where I'm going to change the team. So as I said, I made 5 changes from the last draft. So there's players who've changed, there's players who've remained, but I'm not 100% that they're going to remain up until Tuesday. So I've decided to go for Sommer and where's Merit? Let's just search for the team. Napoli. There's going to be a day or two where they're going to play on the same day, but the rotation is great. As you can see here on the first 2 fixtures, Sommer is playing on the 17th and the 30th. Merit is playing on the 18th and the 1st. So out of the first 5 weeks, I think they're playing on the same day once, and that is perfect. Sommer is expensive, Dumfries is expensive, Hakimi is expensive, but at the end of the season, when you look at the points, they're going to be the players with the most returns in terms of clean sheets and goals and assists and all that. They're going to be the players. And Inter Milan last season, they conceded 1 goal in the league phase, and the fixtures that they have in the first 4 weeks. I mean, the last 3 weeks when they start playing, there's a time Inter Milan are going to start playing, I think, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid, Liverpool. That point, maybe I won't double up on them, but for the first match days, I think Inter Milan double up is almost a must defensively. You can also go for a few attacking returns if you prefer, but that is what I've gone for in terms of the double up on Inter Milan. Now, the other defenders, this is the first change that, this is the second change that I've made. The first change is Salma into my team. I've removed the Atalanta goalkeeper who was in my team, Kanaseshi. He was in my team. I've now replaced him with Sommer, so I had to get a little bit of money there. Now, Jurriën Timber is also in my team. I'm going to tell you guys the reasons why I'm removing them. Jurriën Timber has been in my team, but because Ben White is back, there could be some rotation there, especially in the Champions League. Ben White might start that game, or Timber might be subbed off in the 55th minute, and that is what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want, Arsenal to beat Bilbao 1-0, and then Arsenal keep a clean sheet. Everyone else has Gabriel, everyone else has Raya, everyone else picks up points, and then I have Timber, who was subbed off in the 55th minute. That is what I don't want to happen. So to be on the safe side, I've brought in Gabriel, who we might see him getting rested somewhere, because now Arsenal have Calafiori and Nkapia who can play those positions, and because he's coming back from an injury. But Gabriel is going to be there most of the times, especially because Saliba is not going to be there for match day 1 and maybe match day 2. Gabriel is going to be there for me. Although I've had to pay more money for him because Timber is 5 million, I think it's worth it. So I've brought in Gabriel there. So as you can see so far, I've had to get some money from elsewhere, because Sommer is more expensive, Gabriel is more expensive from the previous players that I had in the team. Now, next up, I've decided to stick with Tottenham's Pedro Porro for now. Where is he? Porro is going to stay in my team right now. As you can see, all of them are 5 million, so I can just decide to go for anyone here. I can go for Van der Ven instead. I can go for Romero instead. They do have good fast fixtures. Villarreal at home. I don't think Bodo Glimt is an easy game away from home. I've seen many people saying, okay, this team has Bodo Glimt. Should be 3 points. It can be 3 points, but Bodo Glimt away from home is not easy. Ever since they trashed Roma like 3 seasons ago at their place, they play on an artificial pitch, and they're very good, because I followed the league and they play their fantasy. They're very, very good. Bodo Glimt, if you go there and win, it's going to be like a 1-0 or something. So Pedro Porro is there, though, despite of that. So because, I would expect them to keep a clean sheet somewhere there, and is also a good attacking threat. Now, the last defender that has come into my team that I've made a change from. So as of now, I've removed Tim and I've brought in Gabriel. I've removed Kanaseshi and I've brought in Sommer. And my next move is to remove Hausen from Real Madrid. I might end up playing my Limitless in match day 2 just to bring in the Real Madrid players and the Arsenal players and the Barcelona players, and is it Barcelona? No, the Bayern Munich players, like they all have very, very good fixtures in match day 2. So I've decided to go for this guy from Galatasaray, El Mali, who's the left back who's been playing as a midfielder. 4 games so far this season. He's already gotten 3 goals, and that is because he's been playing as a midfielder. So Aaron El Mali is 4 million. He's already scored 3 goals so far, and that's the kind of player I want. And he gets subbed off sometimes, but the least he's never played under 70 minutes this season. So that is great. Now, Galatasaray don't have the best of fixtures, but if a player can get you attacking with hands, that's great. So Frankfurt away, Liverpool at home, Bodo Glimt at home. I guess you can call those good fixtures. Frankfurt away and Bodo Glimt at home. I still would expect Frankfurt and Liverpool to score, so I'm not really looking at clean sheets there. But if you can get you ball recoveries and get you an assist or a goal in the first 2 match days, I'll be very happy with that. So for 4 million, even cheaper than Hausen, I think it's worth that one. So let's move to midfield. I'm going to stick with Salah, just like the first draft. I'm not going to switch from Salah. He might end up, leaving my team in case I need the money or something. But for now, I'm going to stick with Salah, 10.5 million. He's always going to score. He's always going to assist. He's on penalties. You expect Liverpool to score in all of those games, even if they're playing a tough team like Atletico Madrid. I'd still expect Liverpool to score. Galatasaray away, tough fixture. But, even if Liverpool, the worst result is a draw and maybe a 2-2, you'd expect Salah to get there. And then maybe the time they start facing Real Madrid and Inter Milan, maybe there I will change a few things depending on who's back as well. I usually have Saka in my team, but because he's injured, I have a spot for someone else there. Palmer is injured as well. So I'm sticking with Salah for now. And then I've decided to change Vitinha to Joao Neves. Is cheaper, 1 million, and Joao Neves has been good for watching PSG and Portugal so far this season. He's been getting forward a lot, getting chances, creating chances and being at the end of shots and all that. He scored a hat-trick in a game this season already. I think he's a good pick. Despite PSG having tough fixtures, they have Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Tottenham, all those coming in the first 5 match days, and then they'll have Sporting away Newcastle. PSG will not lose all of those games. They'll score in most of those games. And Joao Neves can get you ball recoveries as well. So he's who I've decided to stick with him in place of Vitinha. Another player who's remaining in my team is Akilush from Monaco. Very cheap, 5 million, and Monaco's fixtures are great. They have Bodo Glimt away, Bruges away, Pafos away. I also think their home fixtures against against Man City and Tottenham, I'd still expect them to score. And then the midfield that I've brought in right now as a differential is the Olympiacos midfielder Chiquinho. He's only going to cost you 5.5 million. He plays like an attacking midfielder and also on the left wing, and his first fixture is really good. Now, the second and third fixtures are Arsenal and Barcelona, so I have to have a plan there of removing him. But I don't have a problem with going with one or two massive differentials in match day one. So I've gone with Chiquinho there because the other differentials that I want are forward players, like the players from Copenhagen, two of them, Elianusi and Mukoko, both of them are forward players, and I also want Mbappe, I also want Kane, I also want Haaland. So it's tough to go for a lot of differentials up front. So I decided that that could be my differential for match day one. And then forward line, it remains the same as it was last time. We talked about Luis Suarez in a lot of videos, and then 3 days later, he scored 4 goals in one game for Colombia. And I said, yeah, that is the confirmation for me that is definitely going to be in my team. I've given you guys 3 players who are definitely going to be in my team, but there's a 95% chance Suarez is going to be in my team as well. I have made a change there. I've said it remains the same, but as of now, I'm going to stick with Suarez and Mbappe, who are in the first draft. We put Mbappe, but the other choice is either to keep Haaland or to go with Kane. So I also don't want to go without a Bayern Munich player unless I'm 100% sure that I'm going to play my Limitless in match day 2 when they're going to play against Pafos away. I think that is going to be like a 5-0. So as of now, I have gone for a Harry Kane, but that might change. That might go back to Erling Haaland if I do decide to play my Limitless in match day 2. So that is how the team is looking. This one has 0.5 million remaining in the bank, 5 changes made, and I've also given you 3 players who are definitely going to be in the team. I know this is definitely not going to be the final team because I have a feeling I'm not going to only have one Arsenal player in the team. I'm thinking about getting Gyökeres. I don't know how, because Haaland is also going to be, a very, very good asset. Should I go for a defender, Inter Milan double up instead of going with their goalkeeper? Should I go for Raya there instead? There's a lot. So that is how the team is looking right now. There'll be a final team selection video coming up, a prediction video coming up as well, and probably a fantasy tips. So drop in your questions that you have. I might answer them in the fantasy tips video. I cannot wait for the new season to begin. Make sure to join the league, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.